Hi world, it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning on the 11th of May 2016, and this is my take on the current Mercury retrograde going through Taurus in the 5th house of creativity and children. For this to be affecting you, you'd need to be born with either Sagittarius or Capricorn on the ascendant. The 5th house is known as the house of creativity, and through creativity we get children. Through procreativity. So this is the most common example of 5th house manifestation. But the 5th house is also the area of fun and games associated with playfulness and children, with gambling and speculation, with creativity. The 5th house, with Mercury retrograde in this area of the chart for the next few weeks, unplanned playfulness can be a trademark of this time, as long as you don't try to program it. If you trust both your intuition and your instinct, they will lead you into a zone of life that encompasses stimulus and adventure. Just don't try and map your progress in advance, because it simply won't work if you do. It's called flowing with the go instead of going with the flow. And one of the side products of this is that you may well find that some of your opinions change considerably during this process. As Mercury gets into the retrograde process, many people with this position will experience a downturn in their personal levels of creativity and a corresponding dip in self-confidence. It's probably not advisable to go ahead with plans concerning growth and expansion at the moment, as you're probably living a little bit in cloud cuckoo land and not really seeing the big picture. So while self-expression is a wonderful thing, during this Mercury retrograde, if it's in your 5th house, at the moment it's time to just be who you are, not who you think you should be. So don't go comparing your current situation to the lives of others around you, because that won't work. Find indirect ways of being expressive or creative. Don't run at things or people head first. So perhaps it's time, to actually get out of touch with the need to be directly creative and instead go for a more sensual, sensory recharge. So go to movies, go to theatres, go to the art galleries or the museums. Look for new creative ideas and stimulus through external phenomena. But it's probably best to avoid all types of speculation under this transit, especially excessive gambling, because just because you think you're lucky doesn't mean you are. The 5th house is connected also with romance, not relationship. And this retrograde period can signify situations from the past re-emerging. Or an old flame can reappear, a new form of romance can develop, or existing relationships can take on a new tinge. Just remember that princes and princesses often turn into pumpkins at midnight. Regardless of past experience or form, this is not a good time to buy into anything new, because there are a number of rose-coloured glasses out there, both on you and on others. So depending on your own morals and ethics, this can be a time, this Mercury retrograde, of scene, fling, affair, or even romance, but not relationship permanence. Don't unwittingly get seduced or fall in love. I don't mind you being in love, but don't fall in love, at least until after this transit. And of course, with kids, there can be news concerning children in your life during this process. You'll get insight into your children's world and perception. You may find, alternatively, your own inner child coming out to play, with an almost childlike curiosity becoming more prevalent, with a quality of both enthusiasm and playfulness. It's a good time for light-hearted fun. So make sure you don't focus all of your energies into work. Factor in some fun in your life during this retrograde process. As Mercury stations at the end of this process and stands still and starts moving forward again into the 5th house, so you'll see that recent times have helped you see the viability of potentials in different ways. Ideas, dreams and visions will now either dissipate or else turn into blueprint, schedule and plan. A more simplistic and childlike childlike, not childish way of dealing with things will prove to be more successful as opposed to the complicated ways of the past. Don't forget the lessons of recent weeks. Remember the choices you didn't take, because they will serve as signposts of what not to do in the future. Choose your futures wisely, but don't abandon your past. You can learn a lot from what you chose not to do. There you go, folks. Bit esoteric. Retrograde Mercury transiting your 5th house. Catch you later. Bye.